What's going on? How are you today? I hope you're having an excellent day wherever you are. Today, we're going to start off the show a little differently today. I'm actually going to start off with a pre-show, and I just wanted to make sure that everything is working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head on over and check that we are definitely live, and I see that we are. So I want to let you know that today we're doing things a little bit differently. Like I said, we're doing a pre-show, and I am broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope for the first time doing the show live, and I am trying to use a new service to see if I can catch all your chats in one place. So I am manning the chat in all the locations. So if you want to go ahead and leave your questions or comments below, I would appreciate that. Please make sure, though, that they're always positive comments, because I have people that sometimes want to leave not so positive comments. So what are we talking about today? Well, what we're talking about today is the fact that, do you celebrate your wins? Do you celebrate your victories? And I'm going to get more into that as we go along. But what I can tell you a little bit before we get started is that I see a lot of people that they just choose to not celebrate the things that they have accomplished. They take all these things for granted. And I don't want that to be you. So we're going to talk about that today. So let me know in the comments section below what you're up to. What are you doing today? What are the things that you feel that you should be celebrating? And we're going to talk more about this when the show starts. Like I said, this is the pre-show. You see the counter there. We have another 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Pretty cool. I like that. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that we are working in all the locations. So just bear with me while I check everywhere. So far, everything seems to be working perfectly, which is how I like things to be working. So let's just double check. Yep. Everything's working great. Like when things are working. All right. So let me just get back over here. What can I tell you today? I'll tell you a little story, because I usually like to tell stories because stories are very memorable. Now, I never just tell you a story just for the sake of the story. I usually tell you the story because it does something. It's memorable. You remember it. Bear with me a second. I hear a slight echo. So I want to see which one of these platforms is giving me the echo. Here, let's see if I shut this one down. Yep, I think that was the culprit. Always find one of these is always giving me a problem. I forget when I double check when I'm online, that if I open up the window to see if I'm live and everything's broadcasting fine, that the sound comes piping through, and then I can hear the sound. So it starts to echo, and I'm trying to figure out, where's that echo coming from? It's the live broadcast being piped through, coming back again. Okay, so that problem has been fixed. All right, so let me see if I can tell you a little bit of a story today. One of the stories that I've tried to, let's say, how can I explain this? Okay, I had a client, and this person had just set up the first website, and he was very, he was in a mood. He was very, I guess, grumpy would be the best term. And he was like, "Hey, I've just done this, but I've got to figure out how to do this and figure out how to do this." And so he wasn't really into it. And I had to make him sit down and say, "Hey, listen, man, you've just installed your first WordPress site. You've never done that before. Congratulations. You should really be proud of yourself." But he just was, no, I got to do this and I got to do this. And maybe stop of how many of us, we probably don't do these things. We probably don't celebrate our little victories, but they are victories in themselves. We tend to only want to focus on the big things, that you made a $10,000 sale, you've got a $20,000 day, big things like that. And where those should be celebrated as well, it's something that you really should do on the little things as well. What's up, Dimitri? Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you joining and stopping by with me here live. Thank you so much. Today we are talking about celebrating your wins. Do you celebrate your wins? And it is the pre-show right now. So as soon as we get through the pre-show, I'm going to start the show and we're going to get more involved in it. But I was just trying to give a little bit of an insight and tell a story of a client that I had recently who just wasn't feeling it, just wasn't having his win that happened. He wasn't experiencing the joy. He was just caught up in the moment and the tech that he had to do this and he had to do that, and this wasn't working and that wasn't working. I gotta work on this. And I'm like, whoa, slow down. It's your first website, man. You got it installed? Congratulations. And he didn't want to hear any of that. Do you do the same thing? Let me know. Dimitri, do you do the same thing when you have a win? Do you not celebrate that win? Do you just let it go, or do you not even realize that you've got something to celebrate? Because I see that's the problem a lot of us have. Let me tell you just one thing, so maybe this can shape your day. Okay? Did you wake up today? And the answer is yes. If you're watching this broadcast and you hear it, and you woke up today, right? Well, guess what? Not everybody did today. Think about that for a moment. You woke up. See, we take these things for granted. You woke up today. Not everybody woke up today, but you did. That's something to celebrate. Were you able to get up, go take a shower, have a good breakfast? Because guess what? A lot of people don't have the ability to take a shower. A lot of people didn't have breakfast this morning, but you did, right? These are little things that you should celebrate, things that you should be grateful for. A lot of people are not grateful in their lives, and then they run through their life all day saying to themselves, oh, I didn't get this, and the world owes me that, and how come other people can do this and I can't? And they shouldn't focus on that, because I got to tell you, the things that you focus on, those usually are the things that you manifest, and they're usually the things that you do not want. Those are the things that you focus on. All right, the show is starting, so we've got 30 seconds. I want to thank you for being here live with me today. I do appreciate it. I'm a little late today, but like I said, I'm trying a couple of new things today. I'm trying to do a few new things using a couple of pieces of new software, new hardware, and so far everything seems to be working very great. So I'm pretty happy and grateful for that, which is what this whole show is about. Do you celebrate your wins and your victories? We're going to get a little bit more in depth into that. So the timer has now struck. Let me just take that on off the screen, and we are going to get started with the show and the broadcast. So don't go anywhere. Stay right there.
Welcome to The Motivated Marketer, the show that will give you the motivation, inspiration, and information you need to stay motivated in your online business. And now, here's your host, Jory Holness.
What is going on, my motivated member, and welcome to The Motivated Marketer, the show where I'm going to give you the motivation, inspiration, and information you need to stay motivated in your online business. Now, just in case this is your first time here and you're like, who is this guy? Who is he? Who's he talking to? Why is he talking to me? You don't know who I am? Well, my name is Jory Holness, and I consider myself a video marketing educator. I work with digital entrepreneurs, and I help them to get more leads, more sales, and ultimately more freedom in their life and their business using the power of video marketing. So what are we talking about here today? Well, we are talking about, do you celebrate your wins, your victories? Because I see so many people, they do not do that. They do not celebrate their wins, their victories, they go through life and they just don't celebrate the little battles that they won. So if you watch the pre-show and you were here in the beginning, what I said was that I was talking about is that I had a client, I had a customer, a client rather, and the person had just installed their very, very first websites, the very first time they have ever done this. And the person wasn't happy. The person was like just all uptight and grumpy. They were talking to me about different things they were trying to get across, and they needed to install this, they needed to install that, and they had to get all these other plugins going, and they were just frustrated. And I had to make them take a step back and go, well, wait a minute though. This is your first time doing this, correct? And the person was, yeah, it's my first time doing this. And I had to make them really realize that, hey man, listen, this is your first time doing this. Your very, very, very first time. You've never done this before, and you got it to work. You should be happy. You should celebrate. This is a victory. It's something that you've never done before. And after having that conversation with him, he finally thought about it and said, you know what? You are absolutely right. I just didn't realize. I just got caught up in a moment. So I wanted to talk to you about that and say, hey, do you do the same thing? Do you have little victories in your life and you just let them slide by because they're not the whole huge thing that you want? They're not the big ticket item. It's not the home. It's not the car. It's not that promotion. Or if you do your own business, if you're an entrepreneur, you didn't make that $10,000 sales. You didn't get a $20,000 check today. So, hey, just because, somebody opted into your list, hey, they didn't buy anything. Guess what, man? There's people out there that no one opts into their stuff. They don't go ahead and opt in for their free item, but they opted into yours. You should celebrate. All of these little things are victories. And the reason why I want you to do this more and more is the more you do it, the more grateful you are. And the more grateful you are, the happier you are. And you've got to try to be happy in your life, because if you can stay happy and motivated in everything that you're trying to do, everything just flows so much easier. And I want you to stay focused on what you're trying to do. Okay? Not what you're trying to avoid, because I'll tell you what, if you've got that in your head, that you want to avoid this, you don't want to do that, that's what you're focusing on, and that's where you're going to go. I'll give you another analogy. When I'm skating and I'll see people, when I'm going roller skating, I'll see people that they look down. They're new at skating, so that they look down. And because I want to help them, I'll pull up next side of them and I'll say, hey, listen, let me help you. And I'll hold on to them to make sure that they're not falling and stuff like that. But I try to give them a little advice and teach them. And one of the things I explain to them is try to look where you want to go. I know it's very tempting to look at the floor, but the more you look at the floor, the chances are you're going to go to the floor, you're going to fall. Well, guess what? The same thing is in life and in business. So, for example, if you are terrified of, for example, you don't want to be on camera. You're terrified of being on camera, and that's all you think about. Well, that's what you're going to manifest. That you're going to manifest more fear in your life. If all you think about is debt, like for example, credit card debt, then guess what? That's what you're going to manifest, more debt. But if you're grateful for the little things in your life, the wins, see where this is going? If you're grateful for the things in your life that have succeeded today, you'll get more of that. So I don't want to get too much into the whole law of attraction thing, because it's, while it is that, it isn't at the same time. I want you to celebrate your wins, because so many people do not do that. They go through this, they go through life, they go through business, and they don't do anything. And I don't understand. So I just want to give a shout out to a few people that I see who are online. What's happening, Dave? Thank you so much for being here. I see you're here. Chris, thank you so much. Dan, thank you for being here. Cooper, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Dimitri, I've said hello to you, and thank you for being here live with me. I want to see who else that I may possibly have. I'm trying to take a look. let me head on over to Facebook quickly and see who is joining us on Facebook. And while I'm doing that, why don't you go ahead and type in the comment section below, what wins did you have today? I would love to hear what you have going on because, hey, this whole thing is being done for you. So let me go ahead and make sure that there are no questions and comments over on Facebook. So I'm going to go check that. Just bear with me. Heading on over to Facebook. Okay, great. Nope, I don't see any comments over on Facebook, which is totally fine. That's totally cool. Just want to make sure that I don't miss anybody's questions. So go ahead, leave me the comment section below or wherever it is, on whatever device you're looking at. We are currently broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. And we're trying to do this because I want to reach as many people as I possibly can, help as many people as I possibly can. And this is live. This is not recorded. I am really here with you right now. So if you've got any comments, any questions, I'd love to hear from you. Just go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Like I was saying with this particular client that I had, just, I guess the analogy or the term is, couldn't see the forest for the trees. Just couldn't see what was going on. And you know what? It's really a shame because if people would just go ahead and they would just celebrate their little wins, their little victories, things would change so much in their life. It would be a lot different, but they don't. They just manifest all this anger and negativity, and then they want to know what happened. Why is it this way? I don't understand. Why is it that I just keep getting these clients that they don't want to pay me, or they try to nickel and dime me to death? Well, is it the fact that that's what you're focusing on? That's what you're going on in your head? You're saying, wow, I really don't want these kind of clients that are not going to pay me today. Or I'm not looking for clients that are not going to give me the money that I'm asking for. Well, guess what? If you're focusing on that, that's what you're going to get. How about instead you focus on serving people, okay? You focus on giving people the best information that you possibly can, that you are really genuinely trying to help them. Because if you do it that way, and that's how I try to do it, okay? I will try to give of myself and give everything that I can until the person that I'm working with proves me wrong, proves me that they just don't see the value, they don't get it, or they're just not appreciative. And at that point, I will still try a little bit more, but then I'll say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, but you know what? You and I are not a fit. We're gonna have to part ways because you can't see the value in this. And unfortunately, I hate to do it, but I have to let some people go. You have to do the same thing. Focus on what you really, really want, not on the things that you don't want. Because when you focus on the things that you don't want, those are the things you're going to get. I know it sounds counterintuitive, and that's just not true, but it really is. Think about your life today. If you sit down right now, right at this moment, and stop and think about what's going on right now, what's happening in your life? What are you doing? What are you succeeding in? Is there something that you're succeeding in? Let me know. I'd like to hear it. But stop and think right now. Are you in a bad situation? Are you uptight? Are you upset? And if you reverse this, reverse engineer and think about it, you'll realize it's because you're focusing on something. And when you focus on that thing, that's where you're headed. Just like when I tell people that are skating, don't look down, because if you look down, that's where you're going to go. You don't want to do that. Focus on the thing that you want, not on the thing you don't want. Okay? Celebrate your wins. What do you have to celebrate today? I am sure you can find something that you can celebrate today. There's got to be something that you enjoyed, something that happened today. Go ahead and leave the comment section below. Let me know what you enjoyed today. So let me jump on over and make sure there's no comments on YouTube. No, there's no comments on YouTube. There are no comments on Facebook, but I appreciate everyone who's here live. I really do. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So I hope you found this of value. I hope you really try and get this into your own life, because so many people, they just don't do this. They don't do this. They don't celebrate their wins. And let me tell you, I don't want that to be you. Celebrate your little wins. Celebrate your victories. What did you accomplish today that worked? Okay? Even if it was something as simple as you woke up today, you had a great breakfast. Boy, was your latte amazing. Celebrate that. And make sure you focus on the things that you want, because when you focus on the things you don't want, those are the things that you draw in. And you really, really don't want to draw those things in. Okay? I'm telling you from experience, you really don't want to draw the negative things in. And before I go, let me leave you with this last message. Once again, thank you so very, very much for spending your valuable time with me. I do so appreciate it. And remember, no one has the exact same skill sets as you, because you are unique. And it would be a shame for you to take those unique gifts with you to the grave, never having shared them with the world. Don't rob the world of your greatness, because guess what? You are unique and your voice matters. Let me help you to share your special gifts with the world. Once again, my name is Jory Holness, the Motivated Marketer, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.